afternoon, everyone. It's Tuesday, so it's our time for the Technology Regular. And joining me now in the studio for afternoon tea is none other than Solomon Wesley Sua. Solomon, thank you so much for joining us once again on Extra.
Thank you, Jacqueline. It's a pleasure and good to be back on the show.
So Solomon is the founder and the CEO, of course, for the Cybersecurity PNG Limited. If you have joined us last Tuesday, you would have known we discussed the good side of hacking, and that's ethical hacking. But now we'll be talking about cyber kill chain. So Solomon, first of all, please, can you I understand that cyber kill chain is a military concept. So if you can break it down for a simple and not a technology person to understand this term, cyber kill chain, please.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Cyber kill chain is, as you said, the kill chain is a concept, a military concept of the structure of an attack. So that involves like identification of the targets, dispatching of forces and ammunitions and all that, and then actually the actual attack and orders that are involved to do the attack. So cyber kill chain follows the same concept, but it is on the cyber security side. So it is the steps that they normally take to carry out a cyber attack. So they follow a chain. That's why they call it a cyber kill chain.
So that's right. A chain is a process. So
right.
Please, if you can explain the process of the kill chain.
Thank you. The first, there are 7 steps that they follow through on the cyber kill chain. So the first one is reconnaissance. Reconnaissance is like intel gathering, information gathering. So if somebody wants to attack a particular person or a company, then they would look for information on that particular company. Information is like what are the computer servers they're using, what are the email addresses, what is the website, what are the internal servers and the IT infrastructure they'll be using. So they start collecting all that information together to do what they call a profile of their target. So they would do that, and that is the first phase of the cyber kill chain. Mm-hmm. So that they normally do what they call a reconnaissance.
Yes.
Once they have that information, they would have like email addresses and all the other information. They would have that, and then they go to the next phase. And next phase is, they call it the weaponization. It is like you are gathering all the information, so now you try to build a weapon to deliver, to attack the person. So it's like you're building probably a bomb or a thing, but it is electronic one. So you are weaponizing it. You are building a weapon. So in the cyber side, it is the like a malware or a virus that they would build up. So they get information from the reconnaissance phase. They come to the weaponization where they weaponize they call a payload. Inside that is like a bomb or in a layman time it would be like a bomb that I want to send it to crack into somebody. So I'm building that up now. Mm-hmm. Once I have that, then the next one is that I have to deliver that to the person. So number 3 step is the delivery stage. Now that I have the weapon already with me, I weaponize it. So now I want to deliver that. So I'm looking for a way to deliver my weapon that I created. So the easy way is that I need to send it to somebody's email, like an attachment. Mm-hmm. So that's why you would see so many emails would come in like, well, nobody sent me, but they would say click this. And yes. On the WhatsApp you would see things going around like click this for some 550 gig free or something. Mm-hmm. That is one typical of that. So they would send that through or another one would be somebody would, let's say, go down the road to one of the IT companies, buy a brand new USB drive, because in PNG everybody's curious about USB drives. Mm-hmm. I want to see what is inside. Yeah. So I would go and, let's say, if I want to target NBC, I would come around here and then drop it off and I go. One of your staff walks out, see that, oh, there's a brand new USB floating around, so I want to put my movie inside. So they would come back and they would put the USB into the computer. Yes. Then the weapon goes in. That's how they. See. So that's the delivery.
Yes, delivery stage.
So they come from reconnaissance, information gathering, and then they come to the weaponization,
Yes.
and then they come to the delivery. So now that they are successfully delivered the let's say the weapon, in that case, let's say a electronic bomb.
Yes.
Now they already come through. So now they do what they call exploitation. It's like now the bomb is to come in, so somebody has to do something to that trigger of the malware, or let's say in a layman's term the bomb. So somebody has to press the trigger. So the minute one click the email and open it, it's like you are putting a trigger on, so it detonates like a bomb. And then it comes in, so that is the exploitation phase of the cyber kill chain. So once they come in, and then now that they did like a blow up something and then come in like a wall, they come in, so now I want to install that. So from the reconnaissance phase, they come to the weaponization, delivery, and then they come to the exploitation, and now they want to do the actual installation.
That's the 5th stage now.
Right, number 5 stage. So now that they come through the stages, now they install the malware. So malware is like you look at like a backdoor. So they install it, nobody knows it, so they install it, and then now what they call is a command and control. Now that the bad guys have backdoor access, now they can manipulate, control what is inside. So normally they wouldn't do anything quickly. They would, for some few days or a week or so, they would sit and see if there's somebody detected them or not. So if nothing happens, then the next phase is they call it the objectives, whatever they want to carry out. So it's the actual attack done on the stage number 7. That's the action on the objective. So whatever they plan, whether they want to steal information out or so what you call the exfiltration of data normally happens at the final stage. And then they would be there, they would exfiltrate, and then the backdoor is still there. So they can come back anytime they want to come back. So these are the 7 stages that they must follow in a chain. So it's like a chain. If you break one chain, then they have to start all over again. So, but most of the time when they don't detect it, you hear from cyber attacks and all this. Just basically, they follow those 7 steps, and they come to the last, and that's it. They take control of the entire system. So they want to see, they want to come in. They come in. They give themselves administrative rights. They elevate their privileges. Now they can do anything. The boss's documents or whoever document, they can move in and out. So that is basically what they do. And then we normally hear the last phase, when they do the whatever objectives they want to get, like a malware or like a attack on a cyber power plant or our water treatment facilities or like that. That's the last phase. But they have to come through those 7 stages of the cyber kill chain.
Thank you, Solomon, for sharing with us the 7 steps in the kill chain. Could you be able to, or would you be able to share with us an example of a kill chain, probably in PNG context or probably overseas?
Yes, in PNG there are, I know of companies, some IT companies, some departments or knowledge that are victim of ransomware. One example would be a ransomware. I wouldn't disclose the names for, I don't have the authority to mention names.
That's understandable.
There are, I know of IT companies and others that are victims of ransomware. What the ransomware is that they would lock the files and say, you pay some money to get the files opened. And the money is you have to pay in Bitcoins, not on the normal money that monetary terms, but on Bitcoin. So that ransomware locking of files is the last phase. They have come through so somebody sent an email, they found out the weakness of a company, and it's not that like they target these Papua New Guinea companies, but we can be in the firing line. Like somebody wants to shoot another person, but some innocent guy would be in the firing line. So because we are using same technologies all across the world, the same that probably one country's sending it for another country, we may be in the firing line. Because with technology, there is no boundary. We are in the same instant access world that we're living in. So there are companies in Papua New Guinea that became victim of ransomware. And ransomware is one example of someone who followed the kill chain. And after stage 7, that's when the users go in and find out that their computers are locked, so they couldn't access. So that's one example that happened in PNG. There are a couple, but as I said, I couldn't disclose names.
That's fine. Okay, before we wrap up the interview, since cyber kill chain is a military term, is it only used in the military, or who are the other uses of cyber kill chain?
Yes, the idea of kill chain is a military concept, so it is adapted to the non-military world. Like the techniques and all these are the same. So the idea is that military personnel used to do the operations are very similar to what the cyber side can happen. So that's why the concept is borrowed from the military side, and then it is applicable on our side, on the non-military side. So why from the military? Because the military reconnaissance is something they do it precisely. Like you would watch movies that they would send some of their troops and some of the guys behind enemy lines, collecting samples, collecting things, bringing them back. It is like a high-end operation, and it needs a lot of skill and a lot of technical capability. So there's the same thing happen on the cyber side, that whatever we do on the cyber, like attacks and all this, it is a highly skilled, more technical area. So the concept from the military best fits on this side. So that's the application. What's happening in military side is the application is the same. The same guys with the same mindset they use. So it's a military term. The concept is used on this other side. So it's not like a product or so, but it is a concept that works in the military side, and how they are applying to this other non-military side, on the IT cyber side.
Well, Solomon, thank you so much. That wraps up our interview for today, and thank you for enlightening us on what the cyber kill chain is, and of course sharing with us the 7 steps in the process. We'll be having you again next week, Tuesday. Would you like to tell the viewers what we're going to discuss next week, Tuesday?
Next week, Tuesday, now that we covered the cyber kill chain, and now everybody's watching saying, oh, I could have been, my organization could have been targeted. I might have been step 1, step 2, step 3, all that, but the next we'll look at the countermeasures of cyber kill chain. Great. How can you break the chain and reverse put the bad guys back to where? So the bad guys are the cyber actors, malicious actors. These are the guys that follow this process. So next week we'll just briefly at the layman's term, layman's perspective, we see how one can break the kill chain and like the countermeasures.
Well, Solomon, thank you so much, and we look forward to have you again next week, Tuesday.
My pleasure, and I look forward to next week, Tuesday. Thank you.